going on, everybody? Welcome to numero uno dos. Yeah, it's a little weird. I get it. The Alpha Bro Show. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. Really, really appreciate you being here. Me and my co-host, Josh Webb, a.k.a. The Dongle, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll have to explain that. Explain that later. It's in the lost.
He hates it.
The lost episodes.
The lost episodes. Well, okay. We'll just go ahead and talk about it now. So, this is our second episode, episode 2, which is in the title. But we had some audio issues in the first episode. Using StreamYard for the very first time. Even though it was working fine for Josh and I when we went live, it was a total fucking shit show. So, we're totally out of that, and we've done some tests. They sound good. So I hope, and guys, when you get in the chat, let us know how it sounds. Hope we've kind of figured that all out. And if not,
you sound great to me. Like I can hear you.
You sound great to me.
I always do, don't I?
Yeah. Man, you sound fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Is that what's up, D-Bo's in the motherfucking house? What's going on, man? Triple B in the dongle.
I swear, dude, I never turn my comments on. Fuck.
I love it. What's up, guys? Hey, glad you're here. If you're in the Midwest and the East, what's up, Neil? What's up, Zach? We got some shit weather right now. It's fucking cold and shitty outside, so really, really appreciate you guys being with us. Hey, so let me say this really, really quick. The chat. You guys, and for all y'all listening on Anchor and iTunes, just to let you know, this show is done live. It is a live stream. If any editing is done to the audio, but the live chat is it's kind of where it's at. I'll be honest. And Josh and I are going to be looking at the chat, and we're also doing a Honoary Alpha Bro from the chat. It could be a great question. It could be a great comment. And Josh actually had our nominee from the last episode, the lost episode, if you will. Josh, go ahead, man. Take it away.
Man.
Our Honorary Alpha Bro.
Yeah, the Honorary Alpha Bro definitely goes to Neil Brandon. He's in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Neil? Yeah, I think Neil, he kind of taught us something in that lost episode. He made himself kind of vulnerable in the chat and said some things that normally people wouldn't say, in a crowd, especially of strangers. Was vulnerable to us and was talking about how he feels like he's an alpha male, but at times he when he's in a crowd, he feels like maybe he doesn't have a voice. He feels like maybe that's a little bit more of a beta trait. And we talked about that in that episode, but definitely just being able to put himself out there makes him an Honorary Alpha Bro Show bro for sure. First show, guys. And man, because it was really cool having that conversation. I mean, as well, we talked about it after the show.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's just and that's the kind of community we're trying to build here. We're all trying to get better. This isn't, like we said before, this isn't about us being alpha bros or the epitome of what an alpha male is. Definitely far from that. Travis further than me, probably. He had his earphones off. He couldn't hear that.
He got one in on me, didn't he?
Yeah, I did.
I knew it. I knew if I adjusted my height, he was going to fuck me. So to piggyback on what Josh said, so if this is the first time you're watching this show, you're probably like, what the fuck is this about? Some toxic masculinity? Probably and assuredly. But what we're really trying to do here, guys, is we're trying to deconstruct this, what society has deemed in a very negative light and given the alpha trait a very negative connotation. It's not. This is something that everybody should strive for. And it's not just a gender-specific trait either. Women can have this trait absolutely for sure. So this is what we're trying to do. And Neil doing what he did, it just exemplifies what we're talking about. And we're going to get into it here a little bit later. I've got some, I'm going to call it, I can call it a mag dump, or I can call it house cleaning. Oh, wow, that's annoying. Please don't do that again.
What?
Dude, when you did that, it sounded, oh my God, it was like.
That's this fucking puff jacket, man. It's cold out here, dude. I don't have the luxury of having a studio in my house. I'm out here in the garage where it's like 32 degrees.
Yeah, that does.
I wear a fucking coat, man.
Yeah, just take a shower so you ain't itching and shit. Anyway, what's up, Jay? You're in there, buddy. I see you.
Is that Death Punch?
Yeah, it's Death Punch. What's up, Brian Rodman? What do you think, Brian? I'm not there yet, dog. Brian Rodman has like the most glorious. I mean, Abe Lincoln would be like, God damn, that guy's got a fucking good beard. I mean, Brian Rodman's beard is fucking outstanding.
We need to do that, then. We need to do that honorary beard.
We're doing
for the month. Yeah.
Oh, we're doing it. We're gonna do a show. Brian and his buddy Jeremy, they're gonna be on the show, man. They're coming. We're gonna chat it up, man. That'd be a good one. It's gonna be a good show. But yeah, Jay, you're in there, man. So I gotta do this now. We're not gonna get to it. So Jason Jones had a dream. Okay. So I had a dream where Travis came out of retirement because he was called on and he asked me to help. But it was for a volunteer department, and we cannot find enough people, so Travis decided that we should find a bunch of naked, homeless guys to work on the engine.
that sounds like an engine company.
Yeah, it does. It actually does. So we're fighting fires, and Travis says to me, God damn it, Jason, the bourbon to naked firefighters is running low.
The ratio.
If this is a wet dream, Jason, I'm gonna stop. I mean, I will edit this out. I'm telling you right now, I'll edit this out. Is that it? Was that the end of the dream? That's fucking crazy.
I'd take my clothes off for that. Not to get on the engine. I think I'd stay on the truck.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey, you retired out of a truck. Well,
I did.
It's a Quint, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's a Quint, but we was always a truck.
Yeah, but it's still a hermaphrodite. I mean, it's an engine and a truck, which for those of you who don't know, it's a truck company that doesn't have water on it. A truck company normally doesn't have water on it, but a Quint does.
Yes, it does. And I know what the most intelligent people are saying is
makes sense.
If my house is on fire, I don't want that motherfucker with just a ladder and no water on it. And you're right. You're exactly right. Because you're going to have
if this is a fire department show, I'd get into it. But
you're going to have a bunch of truck guys get off, and your shit's still going to fucking burn down. So, just saying. Hey, I did retire on a truck, but fucking probably 15 plus years on an engine.
Yeah.
And glad.
Yeah, I guess we didn't. Should we explain our relationship here again?
Sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, me and Travis, we came in the fire department together, 1998?
98.
So, 23 years ago? Retired.
Class 173.
Yeah. Green 7.
Gold number 4, sir.
So we spent maybe 6, 7, 8 months together in drill school.
Yep.
Got out of drill school. We lived together for several years.
Yep.
Been good friends. Worked on the fire department, if not in the same company, the same district, then alongside each other for pretty much our entire career, and have been friends in and outside of the fire department the whole time. And this podcast is something we've talked about for well over 10 years.
Yeah.
We just wasn't sure how we were going to steer it. At first, it was kind of born first that we were going to do a fire department podcast, but it seemed, like I said in the last episode, a little bit too narrow. We wanted kind of a broader audience, and we
were worried about retaliation.
From?
What do you mean from?
The department?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're doing a fire department show, man, there's some things you can't say, especially specific to your own department and coworkers and whatnot. But with this, we're good. Say whatever the fuck we want.
So whatever the fuck we want.
Four Roses is an excellent alpha bourbon.
Agreed. But that is Basil Hayden, brother.
Yeah.
That's Basil Hayden. Josh, you drinking seltzers?
I was. It was the last show.
No,
I still got that. I still got the Weller that's sitting out here.
Yeah.
It's been out here since last show.
12-year Weller.
But yeah, man. So we're glad, finally to do this and get out here and talk and hopefully build an audience, eventually as we get better at doing this.
And plus the reason, the Alpha Bro show's catchy, but we feel like there's I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but there's a demasculinization of men going on.
You barely got through that word.
Dude, I barely did.
Do it again.
Demasculinization.
I like it.
Thanks. I could never, in 20 minutes, there's no way I'll be able to
There's some words I can't get through. Go ahead.
But I feel like that, we both talked about that, men being men is bad.
Terrible.
You're what the fuck, you masculine piece of shit.
Opening doors for women and shit.
Oh my God, you said yes, ma'am. What the fuck is wrong with you? She's a woman. Yeah, motherfucker, I know. That's the reason I treat her with respect. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
People have gotten, and I say people our age get it, but I think there's a younger generation that don't fucking get it at all. And I don't know. We're grooming pussies. I'll say it. We're grooming fucking pussies.
Yeah, there's, there's no hardship. There's hardly any hardship in anybody's life anymore. We're just now kind of getting into a time where people can't get out and do what they want because of COVID, and they call that hardship. It's not, we're not talking about the depression here.
Right.
It's, you got to wear, I don't wear a mask, but some people wear a mask, and can't leave their homes. And that's not really hardship. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
That can help build an alpha male through adversity.
Right.
Careers like ours, the military, there's adversity in those, not saying that those are the only people that can be alpha males. You can be alpha male in an office, with a suit on.
Absolutely. Yes.
But.
For sure. Well, and so in being alpha, it's you're taking control of your life, and with Neil being our honorary Alpha Bro, and that's kind of what Neil kind of epitomized what we're talking about on this show. He put himself out there. He's striving to be better. I've known Neil for several years now. He was a listener of a podcast I did before the Alpha Bro show, and he's constantly trying to improve himself. And bro, that's alpha as fuck. You have insecurities, you have weaknesses. And Alpha's very aware of his. He doesn't mask them. He doesn't ignore them. He confronts them. He conquers them. Right? Am I right,
not
Josh?
only that, he has the ability to recognize them. A lot of people can't recognize their own deficiencies or the things that they need to work on in their lives. They would rather, go on through their life pretending like they have everything together. Instead of finding a community, a good friend, a companion that they can share and be vulnerable with and try to grow themselves, which is what we're doing here. Me and you throughout our relationship have been vulnerable with each other. you spin that in the comments however you want, but many a times, through conversation, through acts and everything else.
Absolutely.
And that's important to have a good friend like that, and if you don't have a good friend like that, well, you've found a fucking spot. Here we are. Share it with your friends.
And so again, I'm gonna say this 1,000 times, and you can take a drink every time I fucking say it. The chat, man, the chat. You guys are our community. You are the very fucking essence of what we're talking about. And if you're watching this show, then yeah, you may know me and Josh, and that's fantastic. If you don't know Josh and I, that's fucking great, because we hope we can bring you into this community and you will share with us your experiences. And again, I'm going to shameless plug right now, but if you have a story or something that you want us to talk about, email us at alphabroshow@gmail.com, or hit me up on Facebook, on all the social media sites. It's Alpha Bro Show. It's the Alpha Bro Show on Twitch. Sorry, that was my fucking foobar. I was probably drunk when I did it all anyway. But yeah, bring us your stories, man. We want these, and we'll talk about them, right, Josh? I mean, we talk about what we want to do each show for content all the time, and we would love to have a great story. So, and if it came from you guys, fantastic.
Yeah, and we have a long history of conversation that we've had, for 20-some years, at firehouse tables with other guys, outside of that at bars, whatever. We've had these conversations many times. Many times. It's a little bit, hopefully, it may not seem aimed right now as far as this episode is going, but there is an aim. We do have an aim, and what we're trying to get at here. And like Travis said, Neil, Neil, he exemplified that. He put himself out there, and that's what we want. We want that vulnerability, between each other, between us and the chat, so that we can all kind of grow together.
Really, really quick. I'm gonna segue. I don't want to stop the conversation, but I need to give 2 shout outs out really, really, really fast. And I want to say thank you so much to he's my bro-in-law, but he's a fantastic video producer, Richie Hayes. It's my wife's brother, aka my brother-in-law. I think y'all got that. But he helped me with the graphic. He helped me with that logo. That logo right there. That is on this bourbon barrel that was done by Brian and Melissa Leonard. That Brian is a captain on Louisville Fire Department. If anybody has any questions or wants to inquire about having one done, please hit me up. I'll give you their information, but it's fantastic. As you can see, it's beautiful. They do retirement plaques. They can do anything. So, obviously, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's fucking awesome.
That would make a great T-shirt.
Make a great hat. Make a great hat and a great fucking T-shirt. I want that. I mean, that's a goal that I have. Phase 2, that's a goal that I have. And it's all according to what you guys do. So, and just doing that real quick, I hate when podcasts do this, but we kind of have to. If you know somebody that you think would like this show, throw that link out, man. Right now, just copy the link, send it to somebody in Messenger, send it to somebody in an email. Be like, hey, man, check these guys out. They're one's retired, one's active firefighters, and I think you would like their content. Really, really, really would appreciate it. Thank you so much. I would throw a decal on my Jeep. Well, let me tell you something, Neil. We can do that. I'm going to have some shit done if it's just for me and Josh to wear on the show. So if you guys want in, I'll definitely let you know when that order comes available. And hey, yes, Jimmy, I don't know if you've seen that, Josh, but that's Jimmy Rogers responding on Jennifer's page. But that's Jimmy Rogers.
So where we sound good?
Yeah. Well, he said some other shit too, but yeah.
I missed it.
But yeah,
no
Jimmy.
pussies
hey, man.
in the boys' house. Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
So today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about courage, and Josh has got a lot of cool stories about him being courageous in the face of danger and death. No, just kidding. No, he does actually, but we're gonna talk about some other things. But go ahead, Josh, take it away.
No, yeah, I mean, me and Travis were trying to figure out. We had a question in one of the lost episodes where, hey, y'all do y'all have some kind of an aim here? Do you have some kind of a program or what you're going to talk about? So here we are. We're going to try to talk about courage, and definitely get in on the chat with this. When you hear something either you don't agree with or that you have something to add, jump in there and say it. We'll try to address it. If Travis is talking, I'll try to read. If I'm talking, hopefully he'll try to read. But yeah, man, I mean, so courage. I mean, what is courage? I mean, you could go. Travis said that he tried to look it up, right? And you really couldn't find a lot. You couldn't really nail it down. I think there are all different kinds of courage. You have it being Black History Month, you have a moral courage, right? So you get a guy like Martin Luther King that would show, a moral courage, especially kind of off top, the letter from Birmingham jail. Sorry, I love that. I read it to my kids every year. The letter from Birmingham jail where he talks about going against basically laws that aren't shit. I had this in my mind. Anyway, let's just go on with courage. Yeah. So like, what is courage? And when I talk about courage, I'll come back to that. But when I talk about courage, I like to think about it in the way that Aristotle kind of laid it out. So he laid it out where courage is a virtue, right? And virtues, it isn't something you hear about a lot in today's society. It's something kind of we've lost, right? But it's still very much alive. Virtues are. So a virtue can be anything like, honesty, but in this case, courage, and it lies between two extremes. So courage is a mean, the middle ground, a golden mean, as he puts it, between two things, like an abundance of courage, which would be kind of defined as being reckless, right? So you're acting courageous, and it may seem courageous to some people, but it could also be reckless, right? And then on the other end, you have a deficiency of courage, which is, cowardness. Yeah, it's way above Travis's pay grade.
Hey, motherfucker,
Aristotle.
you're talking. I got this shit.
I couldn't help but catch that. But yeah, so you have a deficiency on the other end, which is fearfulness, cowardness, inaction, right? Passivity, those things that we want to try to stay away from. So we want to kind of operate somewhere in the middle of this, in that mean, right? Correct?
Correct.
We talked about this a little bit before the show.
Yes.
If you have any questions or whatever. But yeah, so that is pretty much virtue theory. In any virtue, there's a mean and there's two extremes. Any of the virtues. But in this particular one, we're going to talk about courage. And I really like the way that Aristotle lays it out. There are plenty of other ways that you could talk about courage, but this is kind of tangible for me in the way that I think of courage, especially in a job like ours, where, we don't look at ourselves as being courageous or brave or
Heroes,
whatever else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't look at ourselves like that, but other people do, right? And it is a tenet of our job, right? We have to be brave.
Look, let me ask you something real quick. not to get off topic, but so like that always bothered me.
What?
I don't know that that people thought that way, like because you and I both know it's just like I feel like any other branch of the military or first responders, probably, God, I even hate saying this, it makes me kind of vomit a little bit, EMS, there are like, there's people like they revel in that shit, right? Like being called a hero and being called brave and courageous. And I always like the awards banquet, perfect example. Like, it just came to me. That's a perfect example. Like, I've never been to one. I've been given an award, and I just got it through the fucking firehouse mail because I didn't go because of how it's structured. Not to say that people shouldn't be recognized for feats that go beyond, right? Above the Call of Duty, right? Yeah. They should be. Absolutely should. They should be recognized, unless it's me. You know what I mean?
Why is that?
Unless it's you.
Well,
I don't know. I get paid a good wage. I was always paid a good wage. I felt like I had the fucking best job that anybody could ever. I mean, this is what I always said: porn star, rock star, movie star, maybe have better jobs than us, and they all bitch. Like, we all bitch about something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I feel like we're right there with those guys. And when someone wants to recognize me for, I don't know, doing my job, I don't know. It just, I always felt uneasy about it. It always made me feel uneasy.
Well, I think that's common in our community and probably within, the military and everything else. But you have to kind of look at it on a broader spectrum. That award isn't necessarily for you. It isn't. That award isn't necessarily awarded to you. It's awarded to the community, to the brotherhood. And you know, when I say brotherhood, I mean girls too. Jennifer Rogers is in the chat. She served an entire career within the fire department, and is well respected and good.
Awesome
and
to work for.
Her husband as well. But yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, Travis did call himself a porn star.
I didn't say it, but thank you, Misty, for saying it for me.
Well, hey, let's. I'm going to come back to that, but real quick, because I think this was an issue in one of the other podcasts. Can people read all these comments, no matter what platform they're watching it on?
That's
so if you're on, yeah. So I don't know if you're on. I see Facebook on here, Twitch. I don't know if you can see all the comments. So if you hear us talking about a comment, we're seeing them from every platform that everybody's watching them on.
Right.
You may only be able to see it on the platform that you're on. I don't know. Travis doesn't know.
No,
but anyway.
I don't think they can. Like, if you're on Facebook and you're watching this live stream on Facebook, you're only going to see Facebook comments. So, like Jason Jones, he's on Twitch. So they're not going to see that comment. So when we mention a comment and you don't happen to see it on your platform, it just means it's on another platform. It's not a big deal.
Well, we'll try to do a good job of explaining that comment.
For sure.
That way, and we'll get better at that. I mean, guys, give us a little bit of grace here. This is our first, or not necessarily our first, but
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much our first episode. But anyway, getting back to what Travis said, I think that's common among the community of the fire service or police departments, military or whatever, where it's kind of honorable. You don't want to be recognized for what you do as a career because first of all, we know that it wasn't us alone. If you're getting an award, you know, just you, right? You know that there were all kinds of things at play that delivered you to that point. I mean, be it guys that you worked with in the past that have taught you things, be it the guy that drove you to the scene, you know, so that you could do that act that got you an award. There are all kinds of things at play to get you that award, right? So that award isn't just for you; it's for everyone. So that's why you often hear people say, "I'm accepting this," you know, for everyone. And then even beyond that, you're showing the community that you work for or the nation that you work for. And I'm thinking about careers that give out awards, you know, military, fire department, police department. You're accepting that, you know, on behalf of the community that you're serving so that they know, right, that they have people that are there ready to go above and beyond what is expected, you know. So while it's honorable that we would think, I don't want to accept an award. I don't want to, and this is something that's come up recently at the fire department where, and I'll say it, I mean, it's some things that happened that I thought maybe should have been written up for an award that wasn't. That's fine. I know guys look at that like, man, I got enough time on where I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. So I'll voice my opinion, you know, but I also get the mentality that, hey, it's your fucking job. Why would I write you up for a fucking award? Right. So that's kind of where I come from. It isn't about me, which, you know, I would like to look back on my career, you know, 20, 30 years from now and know that I did something. You know, and have, like I said, have something tangible to show my kids, show my grandkids, and have a story associated with that, you know?
Yes.
So I think that's why it's important that we hand out awards. And somebody may have a broader idea of that, but that's kind of my thoughts on it. But I've often throughout my career thought exactly like you. Fuck that. I ain't going to the awards banquet. That's stupid, you know? Right. I kind of look at it differently now. You know, that I've given it some thought.
I tell you, so in the last special union meeting we had, excuse me, I was involved. I don't even want to call it a rescue. I was right place, fucking right time, and it was one of our brothers. And in the last union meeting, there was some issues, and he stood up and kind of was like, "Thank God Travis Jones was there, blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, oh, fuck me. Like, I came out of nowhere, and, like, guys was coming. Some people, which it blows my mind, that some people in the department didn't even know what he was talking about. Now, some of the guys that were on his company were there, and one of the guys, I won't mention his name, but he came up to me, and he was like, "Dude, you know, I've never thanked you, blah, blah." I'm like, you don't ever have to fucking thank me. Like, you don't ever have to fucking thank me. And he goes, no, man, for real. And I'm like, Jay, it's no different than anybody else that was there. I was right place, right time. It's luck. It was dumb fucking luck I was there. And he looked at me, and this guy's got several rescues himself, and he looked at me and said, what rescue ain't right time, right place?
Yeah.
And I was like, never thought of it that way. I never thought of it that way before. So that, I don't know. I called Shannon when I left, and I may have been drinking, maybe.
Did you cry?
And I said, I didn't cry.
Oh, come on.
My eyes got wet.
He looks hard, but he's a softie, man.
I am a softie. But it did. I think for the first time, I was proud. I was proud. Not that I haven't been proud before of jobs that we've done, but it was a different kind of pride because this wasn't a company effort. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's what I talked about. So that award you're accepting on behalf of everyone, because
I didn't get an award.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You didn't. I can't help that,
I didn't get an award. It was not ever mentioned again. But
you know what though?
I do have awards, and I don't care about them. The guys know.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say.
And that's all that matters to me.
That one comment in the union meeting that was in front of your brothers, the ones that know our career, the ones that operate, that bleed and sweat on the streets and do the same job. No. So they hear that and they're like, fuck yeah.
Right.
And that means more. That means more than, say, a neighbor out here that says, oh, Josh got an award or Travis got an award. That's really nice. It's cool. They don't have the context that we have, in the brotherhood of what it took to get that award. So it matters a lot more. I want to address one of the comments here.
Is it Snicker? Is it Snicker?
Oh, yeah. Did you see it? Okay,
I got it.
So Snicker 3001 says, what do you guys think about Captain Danny Dwyer from Atlanta Fire Department being disciplined for making a grab last year?
Yeah.
A grab meaning a rescue from a fire. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should address this now or later. Let's kind of put that on the shelf.
Wow.
Well,
I don't care. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Well, because I'm going to address that when I get to when it comes to safety and being courageous. Huh? What's that?
Courageous or reckless?
Yeah, well, there's a huge push throughout all industries, be it the trades, the fire service, whatever, that safety is like this huge thing. Mike Rowe did a really good paper and I think even a talk on how safety is third, not safety first, which you hear all the time, because it is third. I'm not going to go into explaining that. You can go and find that and read it. But I'll add this to that. If you go and you look at any National Fire Service award that's handed out through, we have magazines, Fire Engineering, Firehouse, you'll find that all of these national awards or even local awards for fire departments that are handed out typically are people that are breaking some SOP, standard operating procedure, regulation or rule, right? So we try to keep our people safe, but sometimes we have to fucking operate outside of that. And that's typically outside of that is where courageous things happen, right? So you take a guy like Danny that saved a life. I mean, absolutely, without a doubt, saved a life and got persecuted in his own department for doing that because he operated outside of SOPs, rules, regulations, right?
And SOPs,
to me, that's it's blasphemy. It's sending a terrible fucking message. To what we're trying to spread here, which is alpha male going above and beyond. It's sending a message, kind of like, to make it kind of cultural cancel culture. It's like, don't do anything outside of what we want you to do, or you're gonna get punished, right? So it's kind of the same thing, kind of not, kind of the same thing.
No. Hold on. I just because that that sticks in me what you just said, and that's a fucking.
I was afraid to say it because I think we're gonna go.
Oh my! No. I won't.
Else.
All I'm gonna say is and people want to talk about that and say they can't say this because it offends so and so, this group, that group, that group. It's not that. You have to think broader spectrum, bigger picture. It's the message. It's the message that it sends. And just like you said, Josh, you said it very well, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying that, and this is going to be on the internet.
Somebody record this with their phone. Send it to me.
It's only going out over fucking 3 huge platforms.
This is worldwide. This is world fucking wide.
But you're right. You can't do that. You can't go outside the rules because you would be disciplined. You're going to be canceled. You're going to do this. And just like you said, outside of that box is where magical fucking things happen. And just think if everybody had that mindset. Mindset's a hot word right now. It's mindset. Okay? Just think if everybody had that. There would never be anything like that, right?
Yeah, I agree. Frederick, what is that? Debo. I think you called him earlier. Yeah. It's obviously somebody Travis has a relationship with. Yeah, so he says, and obviously he's, I don't know, maybe not in the fire service or an emergency responder or whatever.
No, he's not.
So
he's
says,
civilian.
Yeah. So he makes a really good
Fantastic.
comment that probably any civilian would make, and he says, so there are rules to saving lives? Really?
Okay,
Question mark. Wow.
Really quick, Josh, when you said SOPs earlier, I feel like your mic now. We're given the acronyms of things.
No, I said it after I said SOP.
What'd you say?
Standard operating procedure.
There you go. Okay, sorry.
Some places they call it SOG, standard operating guidelines.
Ooh, look at you! Oh my God, you ding dong!
I get out. I actually have an 8-hour class. An 8-hour class that I teach on courage.
Okay. There you go.
So,
see, now we got the guy then, right, guys? Say,
not necessarily.
We got the guy. So go ahead.
No, it is a topic that I'm passionate about. I love it. I think it's important that people know what it is, that they know how to achieve, like the ability to be more courageous in their life, which actually can bring us to our next segment of the episode.
There you
go. So we've kind of gone over what a virtue is, what virtue theory is. I'll ask you, Travis. So how would somebody go about making sure that they can be more courageous in their life, right? Be it, their job, if they're in their emergency services, which is a lot of people that we have on our comments, outside of that, everything. How do you go about being more courageous? What are some of the things that we do to be more courageous? If somebody wants to add something in the comments, or if Travis has something to add to that.
Well, that's you and I talked about this a little bit earlier. When you said that, you're like, so what did somebody do? And I felt like I was a kid in class, and I was like, oh shit, I'm the only guy sitting in the fucking desk. I guess he's talking to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really don't know. I don't see being courageous as a decision.
You don't?
No, I really don't. And maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like I don't want to say you either have it or you don't.
So you think it may be a quality that you're born with or you're not, right? Is that how you look at it?
I don't know, because I see like people being aggressive and assertive. Like they're going to, okay, so you hear about luck, right? I'm going to go off on a tangent, so bring me back. You hear about luck. Like, oh my God, that dude was so lucky. I always disagree with that. I don't believe in it. It's opportunity. It's preparation meets opportunity. Okay? That dude was prepared for the opportunity when it arose. Call it luck if you want. I don't give a shit. But if he wasn't prepared, he wouldn't have excelled in that moment, in that opportunity. So if you're going to be aggressive and you're going to be assertive, okay, and you're going to be confident, when you meet these opportunities of courageousness that some people would call courageousness, okay? Some people may say reckless, like we're talking about the captain, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Danny.
Yeah.
From
whatever.
Atlanta? Yeah.
Yeah. Danny
Don't
from
you mean?
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, those people are going to create courageous opportunities for themselves. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, like you said, right place, right time.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, I don't think that's an accident. I don't think being in the right place at the right time is an accident.
I don't either.
And going back to luck, I think luck is probably a really good definition of recklessness, or better yet, surviving recklessness.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
So,
yeah.
like, put it in the context of
You're on your way to being an Honorary Alpha Bro next episode.
me.
I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
awesome. No, but you put it
you're right.
you put it in the context of say, street life. You're walking down. I'll just put it out there. You're walking down the street. You see an old lady. This is silly, but you see an old lady getting mugged, right? You're sizing up the person, right? So you're like, this motherfucker's got me by 40 pounds. I have no fighting ability, nothing. Should I intervene? What should I do here? What's the right course of action that I should take, right? Physicality matters in a situation like this, like it does in our job. Should I take on a guy like this? Probably fucking not. That's the virtue speaks on knowing where you're at within that virtue of those two parameters of recklessness and fear, fearfulness, right? So if you're operating in there and you see this guy that that you can't take, you're actually putting yourself in danger, and you're putting the victim that's already there in danger as well, right? So why would you do that? Take out your cell phone, get a good video of the guy, and turn it over to the police, and hopefully they catch him. You know what I mean? Like you assess that situation and you can't take him. Now, hopefully you leave that situation and you say, "Fuck, I really failed at being able to physically take on that challenge," and you correct that deficiency, be it through getting stronger, taking some kind of, I don't even want to get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu bullshit, but, whatever. Taking some kind of art that's actually still martial.
Right.
Because there isn't many of them out there that are anymore. But carry a gun.
Right.
Is what me and Travis would advocate, I think.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So like your ability is to assess that situation and act appropriately, knowing your level of competency in handling a situation. That's what this virtue means. That's what the virtue theory means, is knowing where you're at and hopefully assessing that and trying to be better.
So really, really quick, I want to. Debo made a great comment, and he goes, "I think being more courageous, you also have to have the courage to realize that sometimes you can't be afraid to fail the ups and downs of life," which is basically what you were just saying.
Yeah. No.
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. Like a beta, which is obviously the opposite of the alpha. He's going to sit back, man. He's not ever going to put himself in a situation where he's going to look bad and he didn't have the approval of the group. Okay? An alpha, I'm not saying he don't give a fuck. He does give a fuck. He does care about being embarrassed. He does care about looking bad. He does care about these things, but he puts himself in those situations anyway because he knows the after effect is he's better for it. So Debo, Jason, you guys read comic books, you know all that. Name me a hero that his origin story is not enveloped in diversity. There isn't one.
Yeah,
there's not one worth a shit.
Yeah, well, you can't be courageous without adversity. Like,
agreed.
It doesn't exist. Like that. You can't have one without the other. Right?
I totally agree. Josh, please tell them the story that you were telling me earlier, the grenade.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Throw me on the spot. Yeah, World War II. I'm dialing in.
There you go.
Jacqueline Lucas, World War II. Young man, I think he was 14. Really? He asked me to tell a story and he takes his fucking headphones off. Anyway, so this is for the viewers.
Because I fucking heard it.
Yeah. So Jacqueline Lewis, right? He's 14 years old. World War II. He decides to do what an alpha male, a man, should do in a situation like this, and he joins the military, the Marines to be more specific, at 14 years old. He finds himself, I think, on the shores of Iwo Jima, and he's fighting the Japanese with his brothers in arms. And this goes back, I don't even know if we addressed this because I can't remember, but being courageous first, in my opinion, is that you make a choice to be courageous, right? Because you could find yourself on your first day on the battlefield where you haven't had the luxury of having experiences and working with other people and seeing courageous acts and acting out habitually what other people have done and you've seen them do. You haven't had that luxury, right? So you're out there. He's out there in Iwo Jima. He finds himself fighting the Germans at the Japanese at a very young age. Someone throws in 2 grenades. He jumps on one grenade. He grabs another grenade. He pulls it in, and he lays on it. And these 2 grenades explode underneath him. Right? Now, it doesn't kill him. He winds up getting the Medal of Honor from, I think, Truman. He endured like 26 surgeries, lived with like 250 pieces of shrapnel in his body throughout the rest of his life. He didn't have the luxury to learn the ability to be courageous through experiences. He just jumped on it and did what he knew was the right thing to do because he made a choice to be courageous, right? So he didn't learn all those things. You missed all that, Travis.
What I missed? But hey, will you start again? Just start over.
No, I will not. But this Weller's a lot stronger than what I thought. What's that?
I've heard it, man.
Yeah, but I was telling him about him and how he jumped on the 2 grenades, and he didn't have the opportunity to learn from his brothers the ability to be courageous. I don't know that for a fact because I don't know the timeline or how old he was when he jumped on these grenades. If he was 14 years old or if he was, now battling for a year or 2 and had learned these things. But I'm hypothetically saying that my point I'm trying to make is that first you need to make a choice, right? Because if you sign up for the fire department, the police department, the military, you go through an academy, a drill school, a boot camp, whatever. You may find yourself day one in a situation that someone that has 25 years on may have never, because every day is very dynamic in all of these careers. So you don't know what situation you're going to find yourself in. So you have to first make a choice to be courageous.
Agreed.
That's kind of my point with that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back to not saying that Josh went on a tangent. See, he didn't. I love that fucking story. I mean, he was telling me that story earlier. I was like,
I think I told you the story better than I just did them.
Yeah, you
probably
left me, man.
Probably
what
did.
The fuck?
What the fuck did you go do? What did you go do?
I had to fucking pee, dude.
Oh my God!
What
kind of alpha male takes a piss in the middle of his podcast? I got to pee right now. I pissed on myself. That's what I did.
I
peed on myself.
I have an alpha co-host apparently that pees on himself.
Yeah, I peed on myself. That's the price I pay for these people.
So guys, FYI, I lived with him for several years. It's not nothing new. This is nothing new for him.
I tinkle all the time.
All the time.
I tinkle a lot.
We'd be like, God damn, do we have a puppy? Oh, it's Josh. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. Well, Jennifer or Jimmy, I don't know which one, filled in the gap there on the age and says that he was about 14 or 15 when that happened. So if he joined at 14, he didn't have a lot of experience, probably when he found himself on the shores of Iwo Jima, which, surely to God, all you all know the story of Iwo Jima and how terrible that was for the people that found themselves there. But anyway, so bring it back.
So I'm gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna bring in some comments with me because this is what a host does.
What's a co-host do? Just go off topic?
Yeah, exactly. So Sanders says anyone is capable of committing courageous acts. Some are just more likely to act than others, although no one has been courageous for every opportunity that was presented. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Tom Cecil said, yes, choice. What motivates courage? All right. So what I'm going to bring it back to is I'm going to bring it back to a movie that maybe you have all seen. And if you haven't, it's worth checking out. It's not a great movie. It's pretty good. It's Captain America: The First Avenger. And the reason I'm bringing it back to that is because we're talking about alpha males, right? Or not alpha males, but that alpha characteristic. And so in this movie, there's one soldier, and they take the best of the best from all branches to give them the super soldier serum, okay? And so you got all these big, jacked, badass motherfuckers that are vying for this one shot, this one injection to make them the Captain America. So then you get Steve Rogers, who, if anybody knows the story of Steve Rogers, he was...
Who is that?
I'm going to tell you who he was. He was a kid from Brooklyn. He was 75 pounds, and all he wanted to do was fight for his country. But because of his size, because of all the ailments that he had, no one would approve him to serve. That's all he wanted to do was fight for his country. They wouldn't do it because he was too little, too weak. Hey, go with the betas. You know what I mean? Well, he wouldn't accept that because he wasn't. He never was. And it wasn't physical stature. It was right here. It's what he had right here. And when Dr. Erskine, who was the doctor that created the injection, he heard his story of why he wanted to be in the military because he just wanted to serve. He didn't care what he had to do. He wanted to serve. He gave him an opportunity to compete for this injection. And the general that was in charge laughed and scoffed at him. You're wasting your time with this guy. This guy's not shit. He's never going to be your choice, blah, blah, blah. And then after several weeks of Rogers bringing up the rear on everything, okay, the general tried to make a point to the doctor and said, here, I'm going to prove my point. He took a grenade. He threw it. All the alphas ran, hid. Steve Rogers jumped on the grenade. Told everybody to get away, get away, get away. He took an opportunity to be courageous. Okay? And Dr. Erskine looked at the general and said, that's your guy. That's the guy. My serum's going to make him bigger, stronger, faster, better. But it doesn't change this. Okay? Now, what I want to say to that is, don't think for a fucking minute that you don't have it. Because I seen some people in the chat saying, kind of like, you got it or you don't. And that's not what Josh was just saying.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, this is something that can be developed. It's something that you choose to do. And we're going to get into episodes where we talk about training and mindset and experience. These are all going to exacerbate your ability to achieve these opportunities, to be courageous, to be brave, to be extraordinary.
Yeah,
to be alpha.
Yeah, we're talking about a fictional story, right? I mean, Steve Rogers.
It can be.
Well, no, but I mean, okay. Well, back up.
Do you think that story doesn't resonate in real life?
No, and I'll draw a parallel. I think that in antiquity we had philosophers, right? We had what I mentioned earlier in the show, Aristotle, which I love reading that stuff. That's my jam. I love that stuff. Today's philosophers they're movies, they're TV shows. We don't have people standing up on a fucking rock trying to sway the public's opinion and spread virtue and all of these things. We have movies. And that being a fictional story, yeah, still applies, right? But I still stand. I don't think that Steve Rogers was born with the ability to have courage. He made a choice. He made a decision. He had a drive, a purpose. He wanted to serve his country, right? And he had that drive, that purpose, that desire greater than all of those other people around him. And I think that's the message that whatever the director or whoever had, hopefully, to send to people, was that he had made a choice, right? And that choice was stronger in his desire than other people, right? So he jumped on the grenade when other people didn't.
Right.
They cowered. They would rather save themselves than save their brothers. And those are not the fucking people that we want to work with. Those are not the people that we want in our communities. We want the kind of people that everybody jumps on the fucking grenade.
Right.
Hopefully.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think that, the philosophers today are movies, TV shows. We don't have that like we did in, Greece and Athens and,
Well, you did. You had the theater.
Yeah.
And the theater was a big thing. And then before that, or even after that, you had the arena. And gladiators were slaves.
Yeah.
But yet guess who all the rich bitches wanted to bone? The gladiators. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've read that. Yeah. I have read that.
Oh,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
because there's lack of words, there's something sexy
I think it is.
about that. There really is. I mean, there's
For
something
sure.
really
For sure.
attractive to a person like that can read a situation, act appropriately, and do the right thing. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about virtue. And when we're talking about specifically courage, that's assessing a situation, knowing where you are in your growth of being courageous and acting appropriately,
Right.
so that you survive. You do the best that you can for the situation, and then also later on assess that, like, even in the fire department, we do, critical incident debriefings, and that in a way is that what I'm a fire nerd, man.
We do.
Well, you should. I'm not saying that on a
okay, I was about to say.
Well, but that doesn't matter, and in Travis's what he's alluding to is that doesn't go on as often as it should in the fire service, and it probably doesn't, but that doesn't mean just because
Probably doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay.
Doesn't.
I'll say it does not happen as often as it should. But that doesn't mean that it shouldn't happen.
Absolutely. It's
you have a responsibility to do that debriefing yourself.
Yeah, it's not. It's okay. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I'm an advocate of the company. I don't give a fuck what if we're talking about structure, incident structure, or structure of fire department, I'm talking about a district, a department, or whatever. But at the company level, at the private level, you yourself, you should assess what you have done. How are you going to make yourself better? How are you going to make your company better? And that's what I'm talking about. And in a situation where you acted courageous, you could look at that moment and say, how could I have been better? Okay, maybe I wasn't strong enough to take on this attacker. I don't know, but I wasn't brave enough to find out. So go get fucking stronger. Go lift some fucking weights.
Right.
Go take a fucking class.
Go take karate.
Yeah. Well, go carry a gun. Yeah. Karate. No, nobody take karate, please. Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, and we're talking about being responsible. We're talking about being responsible. And that matters, especially when we're talking about lives being saved.
Right.
Your brothers being safe. That's what safety is. Safety isn't being risk adverse. Safety is knowing how to manage risk, not avoiding it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to segue that really, really, really quick, and I fucking lost it. But I think he's gone now. But Snicker,
wow, we lost
3001. Yeah, I think we did. We lose a couple. Okay, here he goes. He said, I was taught by my lieutenant of mine the order to put things in. 1, public. 2, property. 3, his men. 4, himself. And I responded, as soon as I seen it, I said, I disagree. His men, number 1. Public, number 2. Himself, 3rd. Property, number 4.
So what'd you have as number 1?
His men. His men become before any of that shit.
Are we talking about the fire service here?
Yeah, Snicker was the guy that asked you about the captain. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree. There's something to say. There's something to be said for keeping your people safe. We don't want to.
There's something to be said for keeping your people safe?
Absolutely. There's something to be said for that. But there is also
think.
something to be said for sending your people into riskful situations, into danger. And a good leader has love for the people that he is leading, right?
Sure.
But he has to also be able to compartmentalize and separate that love and send these people into riskful situations that they may also lose their lives. That's tough. Some people can't fucking do that. Some people can't separate that. So they live within a realm of safety, and they try to keep everybody safe. But is what we wind up doing is not keeping the people safe that we have said that we're going to keep safe, which is the public.
Okay. So you would put public number 1.
It just really depends on the situation. I mean, and that's what I'm talking about with courage is being able to look. Well, hang on, being able to look at a situation and read it and say, okay, I know my people. I know my men. I know what they're capable of doing.
Exactly.
I know what our resources are.
For sure.
These fucking. We talked about this in one of our other lost episodes about Major Howder sending us into a house that was completely, not even a house, but a fucking building that was completely on fire. But he had worked with us for so many fucking years that he knew what we were capable of. He knew the resources that we had. He knew the people he had on scene.
Totally
and
agree.
he knew that we could fucking handle it. Right?
Absolutely.
You don't get that kind of community anymore. People don't, either you're changing out the structure of leadership so often that people don't get to know each other, right? We see that a lot.
Absolutely.
With movement of people within the fire department, within military leadership, whatever. So they don't get that cohesion that can be built with working with one another over a long period of time, right? So we lose that. But yes, I think predominantly, we're going to lose people, but you know what? If we're going to lose people, it better be fucking worth it.
Okay. Again, I still stick with my priorities. Okay, and this is why. And I feel like you made my argument for me.
Really?
Oh yeah, you did, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, I'm Colonel Howder. I know these guys. I know these guys. Okay, I know what they're capable of. All right, there's rescues. There's this. There's that. All right, when it becomes the priority, I'm not losing somebody for somebody that's already probably gone anyway. Because I know the limitations. I know the strengths. I know the weaknesses of this group. I'm not losing somebody for somebody that it wasn't our emergency. That was never our emergency. We didn't start that fire. We didn't start that catastrophe. Okay, we are there to help. And we're going to do everything we can do. And then when it goes past that point, I'm not losing my guy.
Okay. I have a perfect story for that. Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Right.
The Worcester 11?
Cold storage, Worcester, Massachusetts, cold storage building.
Yeah.
Right. We have 2 homeless people living in an abandoned cold storage building. And for those that don't know what a cold storage building is, we have many. I made a fire in one just within the last year. They're dangerous fires. There are no windows in these buildings. They are built to maintain temperature. Exactly. Right. Back when ice was hard to keep. Right. So they built these buildings to keep ice. Or anything else that needed to be frozen. Worcester, Massachusetts, right? And I'm going to get the numbers wrong. I haven't, in my class, I have it all lined out, but I haven't looked at it in a long time. Anyway, so I'll just kind of abbreviate the whole thing. The chief, right? So he sends people in. He gets people in distress in this building. He realizes people are in distress. He sends other people in to save these people that are in distress. The first people he sent in was, obviously to extinguish the fire, which is their job, to, primarily to rescue lives. Somebody can fill in the comments with the numbers and all this shit. But he made a choice eventually. He's like, no more. He physically had to block the door. And this is what I love about this fucking job. He had people that were pissed at him at the door. Was like, get the fuck out of the way, chief. We want to go in and save our people. But he was a fucking alpha male, and he made a decision. I know that we are not capable of handling this situation. We have lost all that we can lose. We tried to do all that we could do. You know what I mean? And that's what you're talking about. Exactly. He was able to assess the situation.
Exactly.
Know what his resources were, right? Somebody's saying 9.
That's a fucking
9.
leader. The Worcester 9.
Yeah.
I said the 11, the 9. Yes.
Yeah. And that. As far as a leader goes, I look up to that guy. I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. I've been drinking, but so you would agree that there becomes that tipping point where it's your men. It's your men. It's always your fucking men. I didn't create this fucking situation. I will fucking. The first guy that gets sacrificed of my guys to save a civilian, I'm reassessing fucking immediately. I don't give a shit. If it's a lost cause, it's a lost cause. I'm not going to jeopardize my men for something that's a lost cause. Yeah, well, I think the key word you used there was reassess. Right. So if you reassess that situation and you realize there was nothing going to be done that was going to benefit this scene, then you halt that. You save your people. But if you assess that situation and know that was separate from what you're trying to accomplish here, and you know that you can probably still accomplish what we're looking to do here, then you may risk more people. It just that's
I'm not.
It's situationally based is all I'm saying.
No, you're absolutely
It's situationally based.
You're absolutely right.
You can't say that you would or you wouldn't.
Unless
we had a situation that
you just said potentially risk more people. So if in my thought process, okay, I've already lost one. We're hypothetically speaking, of course. I've lost one. Hypothetically, I could lose 3 more, 1 more. I have to assess that. And I know that's what you're saying, but
yeah, well,
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay, well
I've lost this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll make a side point here. We're assuming that all firemen, all companies, all departments are the same, and they're not. You know, they're not.
Agreed.
You know, I can name several companies throughout the department that I work at that I would trust my family's life with over other companies, right? So let's say, and this is terrible. I don't even like thinking this, but say we lost someone from a company that we know has people in it, and this happens throughout the nation. This isn't exclusive to where we work or have worked. That don't have the best people, and this is true throughout any service, you know, military, whatever.
For sure.
And we're human beings, you know. I mean, some are better. We got plumbers that are better than other plumbers. We have firemen that are better than other firemen.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's the case. So if I'm assessing the situation and I know that I've lost a guy from a company that I know wasn't maybe capable of doing what they were doing, and I'm looking at a company that I know is capable of accomplishing a task that I know that I'm about to send them on, then I may send them there to accomplish that.
It's a great point.
You know?
Yes.
So that's what I'm talking about when I got pissed so bad. I just made fun of you, but I got to pee really bad.
Go ahead. I got a story, so go ahead.
Oh, really? Ahead.
Yeah,
okay.
I got a story.
All right, later.
I got a story. I got you, dog. I got you, doggle. All right, so I have a story, just similar. I'm sorry for anybody signing the fire department because these might suck. All right, so we are making a structure fire. It was Josh and I, and we are in Engine 6, and we're Portland, and it's on Broadway, which is several streets away. So we are RIT, which is RIT means Rapid Intervention Group. Or, I'm sorry, Team. It used to be RIG. Sorry, I'm old. It's RIT now. Rapid Intervention Team. So what that means is we basically show up, we get our shit, and we're not doing anything unless something really goes bad in that fire. And that means like one of our own is down. Okay? I'm sure other companies have it, and they're called something similar. All right, so we're RIT, all right, and we're sitting there and we're watching this fire that started. It was a 1.5 story, but it was very long, like it was a half a block long. And we're watching this thing go, and it was apartments, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And Colonel Howder, sorry, but it was Colonel Howder again. He looked at me, and Artie Harbo was my captain at the time, and he goes, "Get on line and get in there because no one's putting out any fucking fire." And I was like, holy shit, we're RIT. We're not supposed to be doing this, and he's telling us to do this. So we're like, fuck it. So we get a ladder. Doug Pedersen was my sergeant. We get a ladder. We get up to the second story. And we're fucking taking a line up to this fucking, this area where the fire's going to be. And, the fire got put out. Okay. Alan Boucher and the truck company actually grabbed the line. Josh, you were there. Alan Boucher and them finally grabbed the line, put the fire out. And I'll tell you, Josh.
That's when he tore his bicep on, right?
Maybe. Yeah, Howder asked you why the fire didn't go out, and you said, well, when the line's at the bottom of the steps, not a lot of fire gets put out. I don't want to mention any names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that story. But what I'm saying is, this fire was going to fucking hell in a handbasket. And Colonel Howder knew his people. And me and Artie were fucking writ. And he called us off the bench to fight fucking fire. Like, it's never happened before. And Colonel Howder probably been in a lot of trouble had it not been him doing something like that. But it's like Josh was saying earlier, this superior officer, and I can call him that and feel good about it, actually. He would give us the longest leash that could be given. And when Colonel Howder, I've been on one fire that Colonel Howder hit the fucking evacuation tone on. And when I knew that evacuation tone hit, we got to get the fuck out.
Yeah. We talking about the Portland church fire?
Oh, no, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. God.
Yeah. That was a bad one.
My balls just shrunk up when you said that.
Yeah, I actually thought we lost a couple guys on that one.
God.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, okay. We're kind of getting into leadership, a little bit. And we talked about that in one of the Lost episodes. Leadership. Yeah, I mean, he had the courage not only to risk, the people that he cared about to do dangerous things. That's hard to do. Imagine that. Okay, I love my kids. You love your dog. You love your wife. I love my wife. It's hard to send people that you love into dangerous situations. But in a job like we have or the military, sometimes people that you have relationships with and that you love, you have to send them into dangerous situations.
That's what we do.
But if you're going to fucking do that, you also have a responsibility to know what they're capable of doing.
Yes. So I'm going to ask you this. I'm retired. You're active. I need to ask you this. You can defer.
It's hard for you, isn't it? It's hard for you to ask me something.
You can defer. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot. It's what it is. You can defer this if you want to, and I totally understand. Everybody else would too.
I'm not deferring it.
Okay. Do you feel confident in your leadership to put you in those situations now?
I'm going to defer this question. No, actually, honestly, I'm throughout my career, I've been very lucky. You was also
yes.
very lucky.
Yes.
And you may have said this while I was taking a piss. We've been very lucky to be in busy houses, busy districts with people that are motivated, people that care about the job. I just had a leadership change,
yeah, you did.
Where I'm at. And I'm confident, if he's watching, so that maybe I get some leeway later on. But I'm confident because he's, it's what's funny is that, especially with the fire service, is what's funny about the fire service. And the military probably doesn't even get this because it's so much more vast. And people can get sent all around the country unless you're in like a special operations group where the community is smaller.
Right.
So equate that to the fire department where the community is smaller. The guy that leads me now was a peer when I came on the job. He was an equal. He was a firefighter, right? I was a firefighter. He had a few more years on than I did. He's also been, Who'd you say who?
Yeah, I know I should know this. You give him his initials? You don't want to say his name?
He's so squirrely.
I got it. Sorry.
Troy Gravis. Yeah, I'll say his name. Great guy. He's a good guy.
Good fireman.
He's a good fireman. He's experienced the job. He's worked in a lot of busy houses just like I have. A lot of actually the same houses that I've worked in. So I have, even though he's as squirrely as they come, and he would laugh hearing me say that, especially from me being as squirrely as I am. Yes, I trust him, even though he's new to the district. Well, he's not new to the district he's in. He's new to the position of the district he's in. He's worked there as in a different capacity.
For sure.
But I trust him and his ability to assess the situation,
I would
assess
too.
the companies that he has on a scene,
I would too.
and make appropriate, tactical decisions.
And let me tell you, I'm gonna give you. And if Troy, I don't give a shit if you're fucking listening or not.
He probably.
I'm gonna give Troy a great compliment right now. This is one of the best attributes a leader can have, and this is what Troy possesses. This, especially from someone he respects, like you, Josh.
I know you're not talking about height.
Dick length. No,
neither of those.
Yeah, neither of those. Shit. Fuck. I got dick length in my hand. I fucking lost my train of thought. He'll respect your point of view. He'll respect your opinion. And if Troy's in a situation and you were like, "Hey, Troy, man, there's fucking shit ton of fire in that fucking 3 sides and the fucking knee walls. We were just in there. You need to back motherfuckers out."
Yeah.
Troy is going to, instead of saying, "Man, fuck you, you're not my boss," you know what I mean? Yeah. Troy's going to go, "Oh, shit, Josh, yeah, get motherfuckers or hit the back tone. We're getting them out." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that is a fantastic attribute to have as a fucking leader and a district chief.
Yeah, it is in any leader, I mean.
Any leader, absolutely.
Yeah.
You listen. You just fucking listen.
Not only listen, know yourself as a leader, that you don't have all the answers and that you're reliant on the people that you're operating with.
Especially the guy that sits outside.
Yeah, because I mean he is. Yeah. He has a one-dimensional view of an incident where, he's reliant on situational updates. He's reliant on maybe somebody operating on another side of a structure or in a battlefield on another. Never been in the military, so I'm talking out my ass here, but you people in the military know what I'm talking about. Just, reliant on the people that you're operating with and trusting them. If you're the kind of leader that thinks that they know all the fucking answers.
You ain't a leader, bro.
And, well, you're the kind of fucking leader that's going to get people killed.
Exactly.
You really are. If not killed, injured.
That's right.
So you got to have a little bit of humility about you, get to know the people that you're operating with, know their abilities, help them to increase their abilities, and also increase your own abilities, which is overall what we're talking about here as far as the Alpha Bro show goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's guys. So we tell you these stories, and if and someone said in the chat earlier, and I really really appreciate. I think it was Neil actually. I really really appreciate that. We get into these fire department stories because this is Josh and I's wheelhouse. This is where
it's our context.
It's our context. This is where we pull our experience from. And dude, Josh is. I'll say it. Fuck. I'm drunk and I don't care.
Say it. Say it twice. Whatever you say it twice.
I'm not saying this twice. I will say this fucking once.
I'll echo it.
Josh is one of the best firefighters I ever met in my life.
Best fireman he's ever met in his life.
Second best, actually, if I had to rate you. But and it's
wait. Dave Fair.
Yes.
Fuck Dave Fair. Is he in
Fair?
here?
Yeah, Dave Fair was here.
Fuck him. He's a quitter. He retired.
Oh, he's a quitter. Oh, yeah, I'm a quitter.
Well, I'm
a quitter then.
I know.
Okay, well.
Guys are relevant now.
You are the best the best active firefighter that I ever worked with.
Thank you.
And that's the truth. And
it means a lot.
I love that guy. I mean, dude, I love you anyway as a person, but so little context. I'll give you guys a little bit of context here. This is what we do in the fire department. We go, you mention a guy's name, and if they're a piece of, like, You're a fucking asshole, dickhead, blah, blah, blah. Jimmy Rogers. Horrible mustache, Jimmy Rogers.
He's in the chats. He's in the chat.
I know. That's the reason I'm doing it. You go,
Dave Jimmy
you go Jimmy Rogers, and somebody goes, man, I hate that guy, but he's a good fireman. We give a lot of leeway to guys that are good firemen. They may not be the best people, but we give leeway to people that are good firemen.
That's the key.
Josh is a fucking outstanding person and an awesome fucking firefighter. The second best that I've ever worked with.
Dave Fair's in there. Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you. How much did you pay him to say that?
I always say it, man. Dave's fucking shit.
Yeah, no, Dave is a good guy. Well, but me and Dave, we've served the same companies. I mean, honestly, actually, one of 23s, even. Neither one of us are proud of that, but hey, it happens. We didn't have any control of that.
It was the best 23s ever was, man.
We got kicked out of one of the best companies by the same guy, Truck 4. He knows the story.
He knows the story. I know the story.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, so okay, I'm gonna bring this back to.
No, you're not, because you said it last time. You didn't.
I didn't.
I don't think so. I think we've ran, but I think it's interesting. I think everything we've talked about is relevant and interesting to courage.
It's relevant. So yeah, encourage, so bringing it back to being a fucking alpha. All right, so you want more friends, you want to get laid more, you want to be the focus of a group when you walk into a fucking room. These are the fucking traits that you need to aspire to. And it's not the loud, obnoxious. It's not none of that. It's be who you are. Be confident in who you are. Be aware of your insecurities, and you conquer those. You push through those like Neil did, like our honorary Alpha Bro, Neil Brandon, who put himself out there that last episode. Okay? He is actively trying to improve himself. And that's kind of what we're doing, guys. Like, this is what I want for every one of you, is to be better. Be a better fucking human being. And Josh and I, trust me, you can tell, man, we ain't fucking perfect. But we know that. Like, we know that. And we're trying to be better. We strive for something better than where we know we are.
Well, how boring would it be if you were perfect, I mean, if you didn't have nothing to work on.
I tell you what,
wouldn't be worth being here,
I think I hit a perfect spot a few weeks ago. Like, man, I was like, dude, man, I look good. I got the fucking beard.
Whatever covers up that face, man.
I took a picture of my dick. It looked good. And I'm like, man, my abs are coming. Dude, I'm there. It was gone in a fucking second. It was gone in a second.
Yeah.
But
because you deleted it or what?
I didn't delete it. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you now.
I already had it. I took it, actually. You were drunk. Yeah, man. Okay. So I'll bring it back this time. We're talking about, so we're talking about, trying to learn how to increase our ability to be more courageous throughout life. And you need to find out, the people listening, the people in the comments, need to figure out what your context is. Our context is the fire service, right? So, of course, I'm going to read material on the fire service. I'm going to have conversations about the fire service, right? I'm going to learn how other people before me, because we're not descendant from weak men, in the fire service. I mean, these are strong people that we're following. There's a high standard that we're following when we come out of drill school. that we're held to. And if we fail at that, people are going to let us know. You need to find out what that context is for you, you know, be it in your private life, in your professional life, or whatever, and read books. I'm a big advocate of training. You know, I love training. The fire service, I'll admit, is a little weak in training. I would go as far as to say it's even lazy in its ability to get out and train.
For sure.
You know, even weak in its ability to find resources to train. You know, I find people constantly reliant on, you know, resources. What resources do I have, you know, to train? It's not my fault. They don't give me the resources to train.
That's right.
Well, fuck you, you know, be resourceful. Go out and figure out your ability to train. Find out what your people need. Not even in the fire service, in the military, whatever, in the office. Figure out what your people are deficient in. Figure out what you're deficient in, and train in that, within that wheelhouse, and increase your ability in that. And we're all moving towards that that alpha male pinnacle that we're looking for.
We talked about this. I don't know. Maybe it was one of the test episodes that went an hour long. But like you know, preparedness. Okay, like it's something new for kind of the both of us. You know, like it's I'm all in. You know what I mean? So I'm reading something every day. I'm training something every day. I don't want to be John Wick. I want to be proficient. I want proficiency. You know what I mean? I want effectiveness. Allison Ray in the chat says, learn something every day is my motto. And so, Allison, I'm curious, what do you know what you call someone that creates champagne? I'm curious. Maybe she'll comment, maybe she won't.
Google it.
Just don't go ladder some abandoned house and start cutting holes.
Who said that? Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, that happens.
Buddy.
That happens, man. You know what? But hey, fuck. I mean, that's ambition. You know, that's somebody trying to get something done. You know, somebody trying to be it like misdirected, trying to find a resource. You know.
Well, okay.
And for those of you all that don't know, I mean, that happened within our department where somebody really realized that their company needed some training on a roof, which is something that we operate on frequently, cutting holes, vertical ventilation as we call it. You know, wanted to get their company proficient at that. Misdirected as it was, went to a vacant house that necessarily wasn't vacant. Well, was vacant.
Was owned.
Unfortunately by the guy next door. So he was able to hear these saws and these ladders and these trucks going to work on his owned roof. Yeah, so, you know, there were some consequences to that for a member of our department. But, you know, at the same time, I mean, he was out looking to better his company, better his abilities to survive, and unfortunately paid a consequence for that. But, hey, it happens.
So,
you know?
So what I will do is, instead of piling on, which is I really, really want to do, I'm gonna pull back and caveat and say that. So, it's and like Josh said, they're out there trying to better themselves. Why isn't the department making these resources more readily available? So someone doesn't have to take the opportunity or the chance, per se, to go fucking cut on a fucking roof of a house that's owned. You know what I mean? So, and I understand the Louisville Fire Department is, we're professional, we're busy, okay? And I know a lot of guys say that, you know, well, I'm in the 1st District, we really don't need to train. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I was in fucking first district for fucking 12 years.
Yeah. Whole career, 20 years in the first district.
I mean,
I still have as much a drive to train as
there you go
as a new guy.
And you should, because we don't ever train for best case scenario. We train for worst case scenario.
Yeah, and if you're not, you're
like
training ineffectively.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I don't know what the answer is. It's more training, obviously, but I will say this: the training that I had in the fire department the last 10 years was fucking ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was dumb shit. And I can tell you the one training course evolution that I had, it was the 2-person rescuer training that we had at drill school. And Josh, I don't know, were we at Sixes In with Artie?
I don't know. What happened?
Well, I mean, they put it was me the first time because I was the biggest. They put me as a victim, and you guys had to come in as a 2-person crew and extract me.
Are you talking about the VES training? Is that what you're talking about?
What VES training? It was victim rescue training, yeah. Right?
Yeah,
right, Mike Glover?
exactly.
Right, Mike Glover?
Yes.
Okay, all right, sorry, acronym daddy.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
VES, Vent Enter Search. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. And no, I think that I was already gone. Or no, you were already gone. Mm-mm. You may be a Quintin.
I wasn't gone. No.
No,
I was It was me and Artie.
I got a horrible memory.
And Doug Pedersen.
Oh well, if Doug was there, I was there.
Yeah,
because I was there the entire time. Doug. Well, no,
you might have been off injured. Anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, effective alpha males get injured. It happens.
Oh, no, dude,
yes.
Dude, trust me. I ain't pouring piss on nobody injured. I've been injured. I know. So, but what I'm saying is that was like the best training that we had. Like, it was everybody that was there, all the companies that were there were like they were into it and they were involved and they were doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had some guys freak the fuck out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you
Well, I mean,
out?
you know
what I mean?
I mean, for those people out there that like training, what is a good training? A good training is something that teaches you what you don't fucking know.
It's
right?
applicable, but it's applicable though.
Not like it teaches you something that you don't know, but
right.
you get to experience something through training that you realize you didn't know, right? So then you get to reflect on that and say, fuck, I need to get better. So like Jocko Willink talks about how he frequently would make sure that his people failed at training. He would kill people. I mean, I don't know how much I agree with that because I don't like,
killing people.
Yeah, I don't like killing people. I don't like people, having the mentality of I'm out. But he makes a lot of sense when he talks about it. Killing his people, especially when it comes to the leaders and looking at, hey, you just lost people. What the fuck did you do wrong? Because it really does start with the leaders.
It always starts from there.
Yeah. And you could be a leader from any aspect of your career job.
So what I would
rank doesn't matter as far as leadership goes.
I agree.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And I think that'd be a great topic for the next show is leadership because I mean, Josh, you know this. You were private for several years, and I finished my career as a private. But I know once I had some experience and I had some time on and we were in bad situations, I had captains and district chiefs listening to me.
Yeah.
And that told me the world right there. Like, I'm so glad they listened to me, but it was a respect thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It matters. Yeah,
it matters. Right, it matters.
Well, and it also puts.
It made them good leaders too.
Yeah.
You know
and it also gives you respect for those leadership leadership.
Absolutely.
That values your experience, which in our career experience matters more than probably anything. I mean, if you define what an experience is, an experience is something that was adverse that you survived. I mean, it was something that was difficult that you happened to survive and you learned something from. I mean, that's what an experience is,
Right.
And if you've accumulated enough experiences throughout your career, you have something to offer leadership if you're not in a leadership position. And if you have the kind of leadership that values that, you're in a good job. You're in a good career.
Good career.
You're in a good department.
I don't give a shit if you're in a fucking office, a factory. I mean, like that's a great point. I mean, you need to recognize those things. And so again, bringing it back to alpha males. I'm sorry, I got really sidetracked. I seen Mike Harshfield, who to me is one of the most funny individuals I've ever met in my entire life. I'm almost 50, so that means something when I say that. Wish we had good leaders to lead and not gain for themselves. Absolutely. Yeah. And we've all experienced that, right? We've all experienced that. Even in the fire service, the military, we've all seen leaders that are looking for the golden ticket, the golden egg. They don't give a shit about you. Are they good leaders? Of course they aren't. We know they're not. You know what I mean? And that's one of the goals of this show is we want to bring acknowledgement and, we want to emphasize these type of characteristics in people. So I tell you what, do this. Let's do this. If you work a job, okay, and you have a great leader, and I know Josh and I think I've done this once. Okay? And I don't know how many times you've done it, Josh. I don't know. You've probably done it a lot more than me,
you.
Actually.
Oh,
I guarantee you probably have.
Yeah, definitely.
You haven't heard me yet.
Wait, is it sucking dick? Because I definitely have not done that more than you.
I don't want that one. Yeah, this is good. Cool. Thank you.
Don't dismiss me like I said something inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay. You're so inappropriate. So what you do is, if you have a great leader, if you have a job, or you have a great leader, or a boss, supervisor, manager, whatever, fucking tell them. Fucking tell them. You go fucking tell them tomorrow. You go fucking tell them Monday. I don't give a shit when you tell them, but you go tell them. And you tell them why. Be like, hey, man, just want to let you know, you've been a good manager to me. You have you valued my opinion. You have recognized my work. You have led by example. Fucking tell them. As a leader, that is the fucking greatest thing that you could do for them. You will make their motherfucking day. Yeah. That's the reason I say Josh has done this a shit ton more than I have, because I don't suck dick, but I'm not saying there ain't a time to.
You may call it sucking dick, right. But no, I mean it. And I don't know how many people has been with us as long as this podcast has been going on, but I mean, we talked about awards, and it's like for the greater, it's not just for yourself, it's for the community, it's for the guys that you work with. And when you tell a leader that he's doing a good job, I mean, it's beyond you. It's, I lost my train of thought.
Oh my God.
I know. It's terrible. Yeah, man. I mean, but it does matter. It does matter to tell your leadership that they're doing a good job. I mean, even more than that, like peers, like on a peer level, because like you said, me and Travis both spent a lot of time. I spent 20 years being a private, which in our department is a firefighter. Which you come in as an entry level guy, then it progresses from there. So when you get peers, and you're 18 years in, and you get a guy saying, "Man, yeah, that guy taught me a lot," that matters. I mean, to hear that, not even if you don't hear it from that guy, you hear it from somebody else. It's like, you're doing the right thing.
Right.
You're making the department better. You're making your city better. You're making the people that you work with safer and better at their job. That matters.
Matters.
I mean,
yeah,
everybody should strive for that.
Well, again, I'll bring it back. This is what people fucking strive for. Like, I don't give a shit where you at in your job. If you're in an entry-level position, just do a fucking good job. And so what I'll say is about this. It's like, you take pride in whatever you do. Okay? That's an alpha characteristic. Okay? Because I don't give a shit if the only job you can get right now is you're fucking taking an order at fucking McDonald's. All right? Take that fucking order, man. Take the order. You be courteous. You be professional. Okay? Josh and I, we rode an ambulance. Josh was a paramedic. We got the worst of the worst. Okay? But what I always did, and I know Josh did too, I wore this shirt I have on right now, says Louisville Fire Department on the back of it. I knew this call was bullshit. I knew this motherfucker called 3 times a week at minimum. But every time I went into that house, I treated this person like this was an emergency. Like, yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm so sorry you're feeling bad today. What hospital do you want to go to, sweetheart? Like, I didn't give a shit. I was going to represent this fucking shirt, this fucking uniform, okay? Because I had pride in it, okay? Yeah. That's an alpha characteristic. You take pride in what you fucking do. I don't give a shit what it is. Oh, you're filling orders at Amazon? Guess what, man? I fucking use Amazon all the fucking time. All right? If my order's fucked up, I'm pissed off. All right? I appreciate the professionalism.
Yeah, some people, yeah. I love that. I mean, some people represent the shirt. Other people want to be recognized for the shirt.
Great point. Yes.
And those fucking people that want to be recognized for that T-shirt, stay the fuck away from them. I mean, dismiss what they say. They're not a good influence within your department.
Right.
They're or within your career or whatever, your business, whatever context you're operating in. Yeah, right. Represent the shirt. Don't look to be recognized.
Man, that's a fantastic point, Josh, because I feel like things that are from the military, things are from our profession, they transfer to civilian life, to business life. Okay, if I have a business, if I have a restaurant, okay, and my door girl, my hostess, is not representing the face of my business, I suffer. No matter whether the food was fantastic and whether the service was fantastic, if they have a bad experience from the fucking moment they walk through that door and they say, oh, I have a reservation for fucking 4. And she goes, oh, well, I don't see, oh, there it is. You know what I mean? I mean, like, she needs to be warm, inviting. Like, this is taking fucking pride in what you do. And it's a small thing, guys. It's an easy fucking thing. It's like treating people like you fucking want to be treated. If you walked into a restaurant, how would you want to be treated? Oh, you work in a restaurant now and you're going to fucking treat somebody like fucking shit because you're pissed off because you're there? No. Have fucking pride in fucking what you do. That's an alpha fucking characteristic.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and also the alpha characteristic is not just firing that girl, but exploring that situation and realizing, is this a problem with that girl, or is this a problem with the organization that I've set up? Have I failed her? Have I not have I not set up a system that instills pride in what she does? And if all that figures out that she's just a shitty person, yeah, fucking get rid of her. She's a disease. She doesn't belong there. But if you have felt it, that's what Alpha's about, is reflecting on yourself and first taking responsibility. And somebody mentioned, I thought leadership is going to be another episode, and it is, but courage is direct. You cannot speak about courage without also implementing some conversation about leadership.
Right.
You really can't. Because, like Travis said, that girl at the front desk that's not representing, because that's the first face they see representing your company or your restaurant or whatever. If she's not instilling the culture that you want, maybe it's a failure on your part. And you first need to explore that before you just walk out and fire her on the spot and be some kind of, dictator. Dictator. I love that word. You need to have some reflection on yourself,
for sure,
and see,
Absolutely.
Hopefully you had some foresight and set up a system that wasn't going to fail, but sometimes you're flying by the seat of your pants, sure, and you're learning as you go, and you need to realize that,
like us on this show.
Yeah, we're definitely like this. Yeah, I was so nervous. Yeah, doing this shit,
yeah,
but
man. You're fine, man. But hey, so to Mike, I want to comment on Mike's comment. I think also the way you represent yourself is a reflection of how you were raised. You're representing your parents. Absolutely, that's a great point. Some people were blessed with that, Mike. But I can, and Josh, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I will, especially since we're fucking an hour and 53 minutes in, and if there's anybody still watching,
I'm surprised.
Josh probably didn't come from the best parental background, and he's fucking fantastic, and you can listen to him and tell that he's intelligent, he's honorable, you know what I mean? Like all these traits that you want to represent in somebody. Josh didn't come from the best parenting.
Well,
I don't want to put you on the spot, Josh, but I mean that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, but I think some people that don't come from the best parenting, not necessarily have an advantage. They just have a different
perspective.
That or just a different complex situation to deal with, right? So like a person that comes from a good family can emulate that family. A person that comes from a bad family can learn from that family and figure out what they don't want to be, right? So it's just two different perspectives, right? And you just have to apply like your context into your situation and say, is this something I want to emulate? Or is this something that I don't want to be? And I think it's the same with every family, because no parent is. I'm a parent of 5 kids. I held today, we had a Mars landing today, right? Awesome. Mm-hmm. Like the 8th or 9th landing we've had on Mars, but there's a helicopter this time, which is extremely exciting to me. I told my kids I went to Krispy Kreme this morning. I bought some Mars donuts. Right? I don't know if anybody else did that, but I did. Good parent right there. I bought some Mars donuts. I come home. I say to my oldest son, hey, Hobie, I bought some Mars donuts. They look like the planet Mars. His response to me was like, oh, really, Dad? That's cool. He was like, did you buy any donuts that look like Uranus? And of course I laughed. I was like, man, I'm doing parenting right. If he's captured that kind of sense of, humor from me, then that's great. Life isn't that serious. But getting back to what Travis is saying, I think it really matters looking at your context. It doesn't matter if you come from a good family or a bad family. You just have to be responsible for yourself and aware of your situation and say, is this something I want to emulate, or is this something I want to not emulate?
So I want to, Mike, like he said, I apologize. I guess I got a little personal with that comment. I'll shut up.
No, I love personal.
No, not fucking at all, man. Like, dude, this is what we want here. This is what I want on this fucking right side of the screen is personal comments. People that are listening and they are contributing. And that you are contributing, Mike. I mean, I know Josh and I know his backstory. So what I want to do is I want to show you that, well, yeah, maybe, but here's a guy that goes against that. You know what I mean? To give you a different perspective. And again, coming back, coming back to the alpha characteristic, this is, you know, you need to be able to fucking visualize and empathize with both sides of an argument, of a perspective, of a topic, of a comment. Okay? And this is one of the things that Josh and I talked about was one of the reasons we wanted to do this show is because we want people to see both sides. And if you disagree, then you fucking disagree, and that's totally fine. You're entitled to your opinion always. And I want you to voice that right here. Yeah. Because Josh and I would love to talk about it. I mean, again, guys, tell you, you all are always our co-hosts. I mean, you are always our other co-hosts, and we love the chat, man. And thank you guys so much. Don't you dare give them both barrels. Yeah, Jimmy, we're giving them both barrels, man. Like, that's what we want. Yeah. I mean, this is the conversation that we want to have. We want to have this with you guys and try to figure out things, right? Josh and I are, you know, we're doing this for fun, and we love this. We love doing this. We love this format. But we're trying to better ourselves, right? Wouldn't you say that, Josh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's the only reason I even took this on. I mean, I'm, you know, the people that know me the best know that I am far from a perfect, you know, person. And we all are far from a perfect person. But, you know, it takes a lifetime to kind of pinpoint and work on, because you can't work on everything all at once. Absolutely. You know, you can only work on things kind of singularly. I mean, you know, like pinpoint something that you're deficient at and really try to do some research and have vulnerable conversations with people that you love and people that you trust and try to grow from that. Right. And that's what we're trying to prosper here. You know, it may not sound like alpha male, you know, because society today tells us that alpha male is, you know, this like Travis said earlier, this loud person that has all of the fucking answers, you know, and can solve every situation. That's not what it is. That's about as far from the truth as what it could be.
Exactly.
You know, an alpha male is somebody that knows where he's at in his life, you know, knows what growth that he's at in his life and can steer it in a way to elevate himself and elevate also those around him.
So, you know? So what Jimmy just said is you got to step out of that comfort zone and be a well-rounded person. So I'll speak on this. I know it sounds like I'm blowing him this episode, and that's fine. But Josh really stepped out of his comfort zone to do this show. And you've heard him say it several times tonight. He's still nervous. He gets nervous before every show. And he's stepping out of that comfort zone. And, dude, that's alpha as fuck. Yeah. That's alpha as fuck.
Anybody knows Travis knows that he's, you know, he's a loud guy. You know, he talks. He dominates a lot of conversations. Not to say that he doesn't hear what other people say. That's just him. You know, that's part of the allure of what Travis Jones is. And anybody on our department knows that. And they enjoy that. It's like Travis can tell you a story about a grasshopper, and it's like this is going to be the dumbest shit ever. But like you're cued in. You're cued in because you're like, what the fuck's he got to say? What's going to happen? Oh, it jumped. The grasshopper jumped. I've never heard it told like that. Holy shit. I mean, and that matters. I mean, being that kind of a person matters, because when you develop that kind of voice, you can be heard. And if you aim that in the right direction, and you say things that matter, that cause you growth and cause other people growth, then you have a strong voice, and I think that's what Travis is trying to do, kind of. He's trying to dial that voice in where at some points of your career, as well as I do, it's been misleading. It's been misled, in directions that you maybe left that situation was like, fuck, I fucked that up.
Yeah.
I wish I would have said something else. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't said this. Yeah, we all do that. That's part of being human.
Yeah. Never bothered me.
Never?
Never. No, not really. No.
God, you bother me so much.
And I'll tell you why. It's because I always had, the road to hell's paved with good intentions. That's the saying, right? I think Aristotle said that. No, he didn't. But what I'm saying is that that's the saying. And, I never said anything that I ever meant to offend or give a negative connotation to. I've always tried to be positive on the job, and I loved guys and I loved the work, and I always felt like even though something negative may have been said about me, I always felt like, you know what? That's fine. That motherfucker don't know me. The people that work with me, that know me, will know me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, what's the serenity prayer? Give me the strength to accept the things that I can't accept. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's kind of what the way I approached it. I felt like, I ended my career, dude, I mean, very few regrets. Very, very few regrets.
Well, those people you work with, they become an extension of you,
Exactly.
a legacy of sense, that hopefully has a betterment impact, for lack of words, on the department. Like I said earlier, we're not in this career in the military, we're not descendant from weak men. We're descendants from strong people that have come before us, that have laid out lessons that we need to learn from. And if those, humans, we learn in stories. That's why, movies, that's why, fairy tales, all these things are so strong in our culture, is because we learn from those, and we can apply them to our experiences in our lives and help better ourselves and better those around us. Your story matters as well as everybody in this chat, as well as mine.
Absolutely.
Hopefully matters to somebody and betters them and betters yourself. And
so,
that's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to give a shout out to this chat, because honestly, out of all the great comments tonight, this made me feel the best. Now, Josh, you may have missed it, so I want to make sure you hear it as well. Debo said, "This pod is therapeutic as fuck. We need this. Thank you, alphas."
Well, hey,
thank you,
Frederick.
so much.
You are the alpha. If you stuck this long with two jackasses talking at a microphone, you're the fucking alpha for sure, not us.
And he is. He really is. I know him.
I don't know who is that.
Frederick Debo, man. He's been with me from other shows, and he's a good fucking human being. And it's what all human beings should fucking strive for. And that means a lot to me that he said that about my new show. Like, it's my second episode, and if I have to have new listeners come from a different genre, this is a totally different genre than what I used to do, and them still like this content means the world
Travis
to me.
did a comic book podcast before this, for those of y'all don't know, and even somebody in the comments says, Debo is the bomb. So
yeah,
I trust that.
Is.
Well,
hey,
Allison,
go ahead. No,
how long have we been going? How long have we been?
2 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. We need to wrap it up.
It's good. You got any final words?
I do have final words.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I do have final words. So this show has already bettered me. And I had no idea it would do this, but it has. So it's kind of like talk the walk, walk the talk. Okay? And that's like there are things that again, an alpha recognizes his insecurities. And I have them too. So me now doing this show, I am fucking ultra vigilant about quieting that voice in my head. Because
the bitch voice?
Yes, the bitch voice. Oh my God. The voice that says you can't fucking do something. And I have it too, guys. I have fucking too. We all do. It's fine. It's human nature. It's okay. What's not okay is to let it fucking dominate you. Okay? And me now doing this show, I feel fucking hypocritical if I listen to that fucking voice. How could I fucking come on this show and tell you to fucking quiet your bitch voice, get out there and do what you want to do, achieve your fucking goals, achieve your dreams, and I'm listening to mine? Can't do it. I mean, I really can't do it. This show has fucking motivated me to ends you will never fucking know. And I was a motivated guy beforehand. This was the kick in the fucking ass I needed. I'm in a transition phase, retiring from the fire department and all that. I'm in a transition phase. I needed this. And you guys in the chat, you fucking have no idea how awesome it is to hear your comments, to see your comments, to see your snide remarks, to see your jokes. It is fucking gold to me. Thank you so much. I cannot say it enough. I'll say it fucking 1,000 times. Thank you so much. But yeah, so what I will say is if you can just do one thing tomorrow, you can just do one thing this week that you didn't think you would do, you've made this show fucking worth it for me. Thank you guys for joining in. Really.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like what Travis said, you know, this, as he calls it, the bitch voice. Don't think that you're going to be absent of that, you know. Welcome it. Like, come on, show me what I'm afraid of,
Break it.
Not from the exterior, what people want me to be afraid of, but what am I afraid of? Expose that for me, let me know from the inside what I'm afraid of. If I'm afraid to get on a podcast, if I'm afraid to stand up in front of people and talk, if I'm afraid to physically throw myself out there in a situation, if I'm afraid to talk to, this hot girl that's on the third floor, whatever, welcome that, let it come in, and embrace it. And then realize, does it have any worth, and if it has worth and you realize that it's something you need to work on, then figure it fucking out. Don't be a bitch. Figure it out. I mean, all these things we laid out, there are books out there. There are stories. You're not unique. Humans have been around for thousands of years. You're not going to go through something that someone else hasn't already gone through. Exactly. And if you search enough, you're going to figure it out. If you talk to enough people and you're vulnerable enough and you're honest enough about your feelings, you're going to get good advice. So welcome that voice. Don't try to quiet it completely, and and I know that's not Travis's aim when he says quiet your bitch voice. He means recognize that bitch voice and then quiet it. Realize that if it has any worth, and then quiet it and then move on with your life, and then use that situation to help other people and help us all grow as individuals. You know, I mean,
yeah, man, pay it forward. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, Josh and I are not up here saying we've got it figured out, that we're fucking alphas, because trust me, if you watch this show long enough, you're gonna get it. We have our insecurities. We self-doubt ourselves in certain things. We're confident when we need to be confident in areas that we have conquered. And we have conquered our areas, trust me. I know he's conquered some of his, and I've conquered some of mine. And I'm fucking proud of that shit, and I'll wear that shit. I wear it fucking proud. But there's a lot of shit that I haven't. And that's cool, too, because I'm fucking still evolving as a human. I'll be 49 in March. And, yeah, no shit, right? No shit. And, dude, I am fucking stoked at the possibility and the potential that I still fucking have. Because I ain't there yet, man.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm so fucking old, I can't do anything. It's like, what the fuck can I do at this age?
Exactly. So, guys, thank you so much for staying with us. I mean, we started.
We're dumb.
We're started at 40. We're at 15 now. I am so ecstatic that you guys have given us the support. Thank you so much. Please, please, please give us your feedback. Give us your comments. alphabroshow@gmail.com. Hit me up on Facebook, the social media platforms. Give me your stories, man. Well, I will talk about them. I promise you. Thank you for being in the chat tonight. This is, again, Josh said it earlier, this is something that has been in the works for over a decade for he and I. And it's conversations that he and I have had, and we always felt like these would be conversations that people would want to hear. And the fact that you were here, and as long as you were here, it makes my heart fucking sing, man. You just have no idea how happy I am. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. So in my closing statement, what I will say is, I usually say quiet the bitch voice, but I've said it tonight. What I will say is, another alpha characteristic is treat people like you would want to be treated. Okay? Be polite to somebody. Hold a door open for somebody. A little bitty things will make this world so much fucking better, because nobody seems like they give a shit anymore. Prove me fucking wrong. I want to be proved wrong on that. Okay? So please do that. Just treat people like you want to be treated. And if you think someone would like this episode, or you think they would like this content, shoot them a link. And this episode will be on Anchor and iTunes and everything else for the audio playback. Josh?
Yeah, man. Just, I thought we did our closing comments, but I'll throw one more in there. Look for opportunities to impact yourself, so that you can impact other people, Yeah. It starts with you. You can't impact other people without them first seeing the honesty that you've impacted yourself. So work on yourself first, and then pay it forward, like we said.
Sounds
Love
fantastic.
you guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Next week, Wednesday, Josh?
Yeah.
Should be Wednesday night. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll always put it out right before we go live. Thanks, guys. Have a fucking great week. And remember, be the alpha.
Hey, thank Debo there for throwing all of the links.
I did.
In the comments. You did? I missed it.
Yeah, you see all the thank you, Debo comments right there?
Oh, no, I didn't. You said it. Yeah, you wrote it. I said it verbally. So
I got him, man. I got him. He's my man.
Thanks
all
a
right,
lot, guys.
Thank you a lot. See you guys. Peace.